from America's finest city. This is Real Talk San Diego on ESPN 1700.
It's Tuesday at 10, gang, and it's time for some truth. We're going to see and learn about it through the eyes of a local business owner. Just in time for the new year, actually. Very timely, very topical. And also a local resident. Try to flesh out where a buyer might find themselves and also what a seller might want to learn about right here. It's The Truth about Pacific and Mission Beach. I'm your host, Jesse Vinas, co-founder of the Greenhouse Group, helping folks get into and out of homes right down here in the heart of San Diego. You might say that's our day job. And you can learn a little bit more about who we are and what we do by going over to the greenhousegroupinc.com. In the studio today, though, gang, I'm looking at the calendar. We're starting a fresh new campaign for the new year. And isn't this also the time that you see everybody popping up on all their New Year's resolutions, right? You're on your Facebook wall. Everybody's cashing in their Groupon that they got for Christmas and the stocking stuffers for their new gyms.
Yep.
Taking shots of their food like they typically do anyway. But now it's all the healthy stuff, right? And, we could keep masquerading down that dark path, and it finds you usually broken, despondent, and sleeping in an alley by February 1st. Or we could track down Bryan Boorstein, who actually is the co-founder and owner of San Diego Athletics, and get some real truth around exactly what we're going to do about this year's New Year's resolution. So, Bryan, thank you for hanging out with my man.
Yeah, I'm
Truth Radio.
Honored to be here.
You betcha, brother. So, and for your fans, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Bryan Boorstein. As Jesse said, I am a co-founder, co-owner of San Diego Athletics with my partner and best friend, Anders Varner. We went to college together, and now over 10 years later, we're still doing this thing together out here in San Diego.
Now, I wanted to get you in because you have seen many different evolutions or incarnations of this New Year's game, right? And for a traditional gym owner, it's like Christmas that just keeps playing off into the new year because all of a sudden you have all these newfound hopefuls signing up and then probably falling off quickly and not reaching their goals. So what are we going to do about that this year, B? So like if I could maybe throw you on the spotlight right now and just talk to us a little bit about the way that you see all that stuff through your eyes.
Yeah, so being like a local PB resident, we're at the beach. Everybody loves to look good, be outside. The weather's usually nice. Unfortunately, today is not a standard PB San Diego day. But one of the things that I always see, January 1st, sure thing, whether people are hungover or not from the night before, they're out starting their campaign for the new year, starting to run or bike or whatever form of exercise they feel is what they're going to focus on for the year. Mm-hmm. And it's always interesting to me because the majority of these people that I see out running on New Year's Day or whatever are doing it solo. Mm. And from my experience, I've found that when people do things alone, there's a much higher likelihood that they do not succeed. Mm. So what we're trying to do is ensure that people succeed is the best way possible. And for us, as a functional fitness facility, we really believe in the group classes and the community and the accountability that provides. And you make friends, and they show up each day, and they kind of text you or yell at you when you're not there. Like, hey, it's February. Why are you not still here? Like, you can't just quit after a month.
Yeah, and I love that thought too. I mean, we're talking this through the lens of a local business owner here in Pacific Beach who gets to see this on the groundswell, you might say, on an annual basis. But at the end of the day, your business is a lot like ours because it's results based. Mm-hmm. And you might get the 1 month membership, but if they can't stick through it, right, then they're going to be gone by what, February or March,
whatever.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit more about that. So maybe if I'm not familiar, maybe if I'm used to the more traditional model where I grab my towel and I roll in, I put my headphones on, yep, and I do my own little stuff over in the corner. What is it like? Like, tell me the story about what a group dynamic looks like as juxtaposed from that.
Yeah, for sure. So we're extremely welcoming. Anybody that walks in, we have 5 coaches on staff. We generally have 2 coaches at every single class to make sure that everybody is completely comfortable in their skin and knows exactly what to do, make sure they're doing things properly. So as soon as you walk in, a coach should greet you, answer any questions that you might have, give you a rundown of kind of the 3 different options of classes that we have.
Okay.
And that's something that I think is extremely unique because...
Yeah, say more about that.
Yeah, so we started as a CrossFit gym about 6 years ago. And
CrossFit, for folks that don't know, is just what?
CrossFit is intense exercise, generally performed for time. It's kind of grown and changed throughout the years where there's now a little more smart focus on mobility and different strength elements. But
you're lifting weights, you're throwing stuff around,
you're doing it
you're
fast.
running and stuff.
Yeah, so we still do a third of what we do is CrossFit, but we have 3 different completely separate programs, and I think that's what makes us extremely unique within the field of functional fitness gyms.
Which also makes what you're saying is the secret to the success of having people stick through New Year's resolutions.
For sure, is the accountability of making friends, and we do like community events that try to thrive and enhance these friendships. Like for New Year's Day, we went on a pub crawl, so while everyone else is starting their New Year's resolutions by going out and running alone, we're drinking alcohol in copious amounts and walking from bar to bar, being friends. So these same people are the ones that are dedicated, and they don't need to be running on New Year's Day because they know that they have an entire 364 days to follow where they're going to be held accountable by their friends, and they're going to show up and they're going to be part of the program. And so the 3 programs have really been an enlightening thing for us because we have our CrossFit program. This is our most advanced program. Everything is relatively technical as far as movement patterns, and we try to keep people from entering into our CrossFit specific program until they've at least mastered the movements in our other 2 programs.
I love that thought.
So yeah, and our most basic program is our bodybuilding program. That's what you participate in.
Ding ding.
Yeah, you're doing great with it too.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Steve's looking at me. He's eyeballing me through the screen. I'm a bodybuilder, Steve. You can't tell?
But it's not bodybuilding in the sense that like we're trying to get you to go stand on stage and get real tan and flex and stop eating.
Right.
Our goal with the bodybuilding program is to just focus on proper movement, important, big, large compound strength lifts that are going to build the most muscle for you, also help you shed the most body fat. And they're not performed for time, so you're able to really focus exclusively on the proper movement patterns for each exercise. And then kind of from there, if you have the itch, and honestly...
And just to back up, that what I understand, the reason why I'm kind of going through it right now is that I started out kind of in the CrossFit thing, and my body was like,
right,
get a little bit, and then I had to kind of go back and build my base, my foundation, like my core stuff up. So that's kind of like where you start, right? It's not because you want to stand on stage and be tan guy.
But it's not even necessarily where you start. It could be where you finish. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years now, this whole weightlifting fitness thing. And, I did a bodybuilding style program for the first 10, 15 years, did 5 years of CrossFit. And then the last year I've been back on the bodybuilding program and my body feels better. My mind feels better. I know we were talking earlier about some of like the adrenal fatigue issues.
Yeah, I want to get into that.
And sleep patterns and all that. And we'll backtrack to that.
Yeah. But the third program,
the third program is the fitness program.
Right, that's the big one.
The fitness is probably where like 65% of our clients live.
Right.
And it's an awesome combination, a hybrid of sorts between the bodybuilding program and the CrossFit program. It has all of the strength elements that are not done for time in the bodybuilding program so that you can really kind of build muscle, lose body fat, focus on proper movement patterns, avoid injury. And then at the end of each fitness day, there's also a short for-time piece. But unlike the CrossFit program where they're performing movements for time that are very technical and heavy, the for-time portion of the fitness class is much more body weight and cardiovascular oriented so that we're not forcing people to do extremely difficult technical movements under fatigue.
I love that thought. So what I'm hearing you say now, so if we're going to talk about the truth about how to break through your New Year's resolutions right now, and focusing specifically on the body goals, physical fitness goals, the first element is community. The second element is you can find yourself within whatever program fits you, and you're doing it in a group environment. So even if you're bodybuilding with at least one partner, probably 2, 3, or 4 at the same time.
For sure. I mean, you and James rage every morning at 8 a.m., Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's just dedicated. And when James isn't there, you're like, why isn't James here? And when you're not there, James is like, dude, where's Jesse?
But but there's so much more that goes on there inside of SDA, though. So talk to me about like nutrition.
Yeah, nutrition is huge. I mean, committing to an exercise plan for New Year's is great, but I can speak from experience that I've been in periods of my CrossFit life where I was working out 3-4 hours a day, but I was still gaining body fat because I was eating so much to support the exercise that I was doing.
Right.
Versus I could have done a bodybuilding plan where I'm only working out 3 days a week for 45 minutes, and I've lost body fat because I'm focusing on the nutrition.
And the nutrition is easily the majority of the
I mean, you cannot burn enough calories to warrant eating crappy food. One slice of pizza is like 300 calories. You would have to sit on a treadmill for like 30 minutes, depending on your body weight, to burn 300 calories.
And who just has one piece?
Right, and who has one piece, right? I'll eat an entire pizza, and then the next day be like, I guess I need to work out for like 12 hours today.
Right. But and it's not just that concept of nutrition, like going online and finding some stuff. Like, it's specific to what it is that you're trying to accomplish, right?
Yeah, so, Anders, my partner, he wrote an incredible ebook about 2 months ago. And it's just a really simplified way of helping people understand the basics of nutrition and how it fits into your life based on your current activity level. And I think that that's the most unique part, is that instead of just saying this is a one-size-fits-all nutrition program, is we use a specific activity multiplier and your body weight to determine how many grams of protein, carbs, and fat you need at each meal. It even breaks it down onto whether you train in the morning, afternoon, or evening, such that you can make sure that you have your carbs surrounding your workout to make sure that you're fueled properly. And then it even has a separate template for off days, on days where you're not going to exercise. Maybe you just sit in front of a computer, drive home, and sit in front of the TV, and it lowers the carbs for you. It has a listing of all the acceptable foods. And in a sense, it kind of teaches you to fish. Instead of just giving you a piece of fish to eat for the night, we're trying to teach you to fish so that you can eat for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I love that thought. And by the way, no teaser necessary. That ebook is actually being offered on your guys' Facebook wall, right?
It is, correct. Yeah, it is sold. I believe it is $9.99. It's might be $7.99.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely cheap. It's a 10-page document, and then it comes with the Excel sheet as well, where you put in your activity level and your body weight, and it just shoots you back all of the info that you need.
And how critical is that? I mean,
you can't spend $10 in a better way than that. So it's San Diego Athletics Facebook wall. It's in the shop there.
Yeah. So, gang, we're trying to find out some truth about our little local spot down in Pacific Beach, Mission Beach, the 92109. And we're looking at it through the eyes of a local business owner, and timely, too. So not just the general nature of you guys, cooking bread down the street or something. This is actually a local expert in San Diego Athletics talking to you about how to make sure your New Year's goals actually stick this year. It's Bryan Boorstein, co-founder and owner of San Diego Athletics. By the way, if you want to be part of this conversation, there's a couple different ways for you to do so. I'd love to put Bryan on the hot seat with some great questions from our listeners. You can actually, we're streaming this whole conversation live right now over on our Twitter handle at Follow the Stash through the Meerkat app. You can actually tweet a question. We'll ask it live. Or you can even call in, old school. It's 866-405-1717 in case you want to ask Bryan from San Diego Athletics anything about your New Year's goals. So coming up, we're going to pick this conversation up where we're leaving off right now. We're going to talk about nutrition. I want to get into a little bit of fasting, and then we're going to drop some acronyms on you. They're going to make your head explode. And that's why we're dropping the truth every Tuesday at 10 a.m. right here, ESPN Radio. We'll be right back.